Okay, so doing a review slash discussion of Wonder Woman. Some of my family and I went and saw it on Friday, and so my dad and I discuss it. Warning you now, there are spoilers. I put that in the title, but some of y'all don't listen, so I'm telling you now, there's spoilers. If you haven't seen it, don't want to know about it, stop watching, because don't get mad at me because there's spoilers, because I warned you. And there is a whole bunch of other things I wanted to say about the movie. I did like it, but like, I guess I forgot to say some of the things that I said in the review. But if you guys like this, like, comment, and subscribe, and also leave something in the comments below if you want me to talk about that movie or maybe a TV show. I've seen a lot in my day. Ish, kind of. And okay, ooh, this is a long intro. Bye. Okay, so Wonder Woman. I did not dislike the movie. I thought it was good and it had plenty of action, but there was a couple things that didn't make any sense to me.
Like what?
Well, first of all, how are you gonna call the movie Wonder Woman and then not say Wonder Woman the entire movie?
True. And nobody called her Wonder Woman.
Yeah, they called her Diana the whole time. Which, I mean, obviously that's her name. Okay, so there was that. And then she pulled this red and blue suit and ran off with it. Why did they just randomly have a red and blue suit sitting on the island of the Amazons?
Well, technically, that suit was probably made for, as they quote unquote, the God Killer, along with the sword. And so.
But how does she know that was her? That she was supposed to wear the suit then?
Well, true, and how did it fit at first? Yeah. You're not supposed to ask those questions like that.
Okay, well, I'm asking them because it didn't make any sense to me.
Right. And then how did she end up in Britain when the original storyline that she ended up in America?
Yeah, that didn't make any sense to me either. And then why did Steve die?
Right.
Steve wasn't supposed to die, although I did think it was funny that one scene when they were finding clothes for her and they dressed her up like the librarian from the original TV show.
Right.
I thought that was funny. I wonder what the woman who played her in the TV show thinks about this new movie.
Linda Carter. That would be an interesting take to find out.
Somebody interview her, because I want to know.
The other thing that I find disturbing was they took all the patriotic symbols away.
Right, because there was no stars and there was no stripes. Her boots were supposed to be red and white, striped.
Right.
And there were supposed to be stars on the bottom part of her outfit, the blue part. There were supposed to be white stars. And then her crown and her braces were supposed to be silver. Why were they gold?
It looked more like bronze than me, tarnished bronze on top of that.
And it had a W. Obviously the W for Wonder Woman, but again, where was that coming from? No one called her Wonder Woman.
Right, well, even at the bottom of her outfit there was a WW Wonder Woman. I don't know if you picked up on that.
And then they couldn't have found a better, a more buff actor to play Ares, the god of war.
Right, that was a poor choice.
I mean, which I thought it was funny because the entire time Mariah was going, that Ludendorff is Ares. Ludendorff is Ares. I was like, Mariah, no, he's not. He's a human, because he kept huffing that magic thing that she had, and that was giving him strength.
Right, but Diana actually thought Ludendorff, whatever his name was.
Well, yeah, because she didn't know any better, but because we had obviously we had information she didn't have. She didn't see him huffing the stuff, but I did. And then Mariah was like, well, it's a metaphor. No, he's not Ares. I didn't know who was Ares, but I knew it wasn't him.
Right, but then I have to agree, I was thinking it was a metaphor. And midway
well,
through
she said it was a metaphor, but she still thought it was him. And what she was saying by saying it was a metaphor, she was thinking she kills Ludendorff and that was it. Right. Like it was going to be over. But I knew her killing Ludendorff wasn't going to do anything. Like, see, what I was wondering was whether or not Ares was actually going to appear is what I was wondering. I was wondering if Ludendorff was going to die and she was going to keep fighting and then it would end. I didn't know that Ares was going to actually appear.
No, I thought Ares was a metaphor, and I couldn't figure out whether he is.
I low-key was wondering if Hitler was going to appear.
Right.
But then I have another question. In the original comic book series, I don't remember her being the daughter of Zeus.
I don't remember.
I remember her being an Amazon, but I thought she was just an Amazon, just a nobody Amazon, the daughter, or she was the princess,
Right,
but she wasn't the daughter of Zeus.
Right,
where did that come from?
I don't know, because even in the TV series, the Amazon women competed to come with Eve, and Diana won.
Well, see, and something else that doesn't make any sense to me, though. Okay, if you take Greek mythology and Roman mythology, right? The Roman gods are basically just the Roman version of the Greek gods, because the Romans stole culture from other people. They were the original cultural appropriators.
Right.
And Diana was actually the Roman version of Athena.
Right.
So I'm confused as to how Diana could be Zeus's daughter. Now, the Roman mythology, Diana was his name Jupiter? Or is Jupiter the sea god?
I don't.
It's not coming to me. But the Roman version of, and I don't have my phone to Google it. The Roman version of Zeus is Diana's father, and then Zeus is Athena's father. Whatever, that didn't make any sense to me. And they all had Greek names too, so where the Diana came from, I don't know. I think that was just them mixing mythologies, but whatever.
For me, the movie seemed like it was a quick write, because they didn't have any details.
There was a lot of, whoa, the light just got weird.
Yeah, because it's cloudy outside.
I mean, again, I liked it, and it had good action and everything, but there was just little things that didn't make. Why did no one wonder why an American man was working for British intelligence?
Right.
I would like to know that too, because that also didn't make any sense to me. Like, it did that. And where did the Native American come from? He just appeared in England, and no one thought that was weird either.
I like this. It did have one good note. Actually, not one good note, but one good note that I like to talk about: the fact that they had morality. They stuck to not sleeping around, which I thought that was excellent.
Well, I'm sure other people would chalk that up to the time that it was set in, but
yeah, but
I'm saying I agree, but I'm just saying that's what other people would chalk it up to.
Right. Oh, we need to return to those good old days.
And then there was something else that happened that didn't make any sense to me. It'll come to me. It had something to do with her and the island, and oh, okay, so you're telling me this island has been sitting there for thousands of years and no one in ships, planes, whatever, had ever seen it, but all of a sudden Steve finds the island and the Nazis following Steve find the island.
Well, yeah, think about it. The island was virtually invisible.
That doesn't make any sense. You'd stop saying that the island was invisible, because you can't tell me that a boat never would have passed through there.
Well,
a modern boat.
Right, but I'm just saying, if you look at the vast amount of ocean, and because I've been out to sea, the chances of ships covering every square foot of even a geographic area on the seas is probably almost impossible, because ships go in a straight line. So if there was no reason to go in that line, I'm just hypothetically.
I still want to know why an American was working for British intelligence, though.
Right, we'll never get.
Why was it set in England when the original was set in the U.S.? That didn't make any sense. Why set it in England in the first place?
Well, I think from one main reason, I think it goes back to my question about the patriotic symbols. They were trying to downplay patriotism, so that was one way of doing it, and to be subtle about it. I mean, you couldn't just blatantly take away everything, so they sort of.
And then another thing I low-key wondered at, so why didn't the Nazis have the swastika in the movie? They had something else. What was that about?
I thought
It was not a swastika.
No, I thought I saw a swastika.
No, you didn't. And my phone is in the house. I was gonna Google it, some screenshots from the movie, and show you, because they were not swastikas.
Oh, okay.
And then, okay, obviously in the original series, Chris Pine, Steve was an American, but if you were going to set it in England, y'all should have had Chris Pine fake an English accent, because he faked a German accent, so don't tell me he can't fake a British accent, because he could have, and then it would have made a little bit more sense. But hey, guess that's just me.
Yeah, and then on a sour note, it wasn't that many people in the theater. It's hard to believe it was a big box office smash.
Well, Daddy, it's been like 2 or 3 weeks since it came out.
Yeah, but
The fact that there was that many people in the theater, and it was IMAX. Most people would have just gone to a regular theater because they don't feel like shelling out the big bucks to go watch it on a big screen with surround sound in 3D.
Oh, well, you have a point there.
But other than those gigantic gaping plot holes, I did like it, and I thought it was a good movie. And they're getting really good with the action scenes, because I mean, a lot of times with action scenes, they'd actually, in older movies anyway, they'd zoom out so you can't really see what's going on. But on these, I mean, they were zoomed in, slow-mo, watch it. And I'm still trying to figure out how they did some of that, because I don't know whether or not somebody actually did that or if they CGI'd it. Either way, it looked cool.
Well, I give the movie 4.5 boxes of popcorn out of 10.
4.5? I might give it 7.
That's a wrap.
Okay, whatever.
You said 7?
7.